in the high-altitude desert of southern Colorado, wedged between the monumental Sangre de Cristo and San Juan Mountains, lies a place that seems to operate under a different set of rules. This is the San Luis Valley, sprawling, almost alien landscape of nearly 8,000 square miles, much of it sparsely populated. To an outsider just passing through, it might seem like just another quiet, windswept corner of the American West. But for those who've stayed, for those who've paid close attention and spent time under its vast, impossibly dark skies, it's something else entirely. It's a place where the veil between our world and somewhere else feels unusually thin. Here, the inexplicable is practically a local resident, a part of the very fabric of the valley's identity. It's a place with so many overlapping mysteries that some have given it a chilling nickname: the Bermuda Triangle of the West. Picture this. It's a clear, cold night, late in the year 2000. Over a dozen people, a mix of curious locals and tourists, are gathered at a small, unassuming lookout, staring into the profound darkness. Suddenly, a colossal, cigar-shaped object materializes out of nowhere, positioning itself silently between them and the jagged peaks of the mountains. It's described as a dull, bronze color, and it moves with an impossible, almost liquid speed. It hovers for one breathtaking moment before zipping across the entire valley and vanishing as if it was never there. The witnesses were left in stunned silence, their perception of reality permanently bent. This wasn't some fleeting, ambiguous light. It was a structured, physical craft seen by over a dozen people at once. It wasn't a one-off event. For generations, this valley has been ground zero for some of the country's most persistent and bizarre phenomena. From impossible lights dancing in the sky to a string of baffling and gruesome animal deaths. We're going to investigate the chilling truth behind America's most mysterious valley. To understand the modern strangeness of the San Luis Valley, your first instinct should be to look up. The sightings of unidentified aerial phenomena here are so frequent, so consistent, that a long stretch of Highway 17 has earned the nickname UFO Alley. This isn't a recent development. Such documented sightings date back to at least the 1930s, with intense flat periods where the skies just seemed to come alive with activity. During one such wave in the late 1960s, it was unusual to see dozens of cars pulled over on the shoulders of the desolate highways at night. Their drivers would just stand there, watching in silent awe as unknown lights and structured craft put on impossible air shows over the great sand dunes. So what does it take to turn a collection of local ghost stories into a genuine landmark? In this case, the answer arrived in the year 2000. Not from the sky, but from a cattle rancher named Judy Messalini. After years of struggling to make a living from the difficult land, she kept noticing a peculiar trend. People were constantly camping on her property without permission. They weren't there for the scenery. They were all hoping to catch a glimpse of the weird lights the locals always talked about. In a brilliant move of pure pragmatism, she figured, if you can't beat 'em, charge 'em admission. She constructed a simple, 10-foot-high wooden platform and opened a small gift shop. And just like that, the UFO Watchtower was born. What began as something of a half-joke, a way to make ends meet, quickly evolved into something much more profound. Since opening its doors, the Watchtower has drawn tens of thousands of visitors from every corner of the globe. Judy, who once described herself as a complete skeptic, has now personally witnessed dozens of unexplained aerial events. Inside the humble gift shop, there's a binder, now swelling to multiple volumes, that holds over 300 handwritten accounts from visitors who felt compelled to document their experience. As Judy often says, she created a safe place for people to share their experiences without fear of ridicule. It has become a confessional of sorts, a place where former government officials have quietly shared cryptic photos, and tourists have tearfully recounted sightings that shattered their logical worldview. Adding yet another layer to the lore, multiple visiting psychics have claimed, unsolicited, that two invisible beings stand guard over a pair of powerful energetic vortexes located in the Watchtower-S garden. Of course, there are plenty of skeptical explanations. The valley sits at an elevation of 7,600 feet, boasting crystal clear air and almost zero light pollution, an ideal environment for spotting satellites or misidentifying military craft from the numerous bases in the region. The Trinity site, where the first atomic bomb was detonated, isn't all that far to the south, and this very valley was once on the short list for that world-changing test. But those explanations fall short for the people who've been there. The sheer number and the specific nature of the sighting's silent, massive craft making impossible right-angle turns, or lights that split apart and then reform into a single point, continue to defy any easy, conventional answer. The high strangeness in the San Luis Valley isn't confined to the sky. Down on the ground, a far more gruesome and tangible mystery has plagued ranchers for over 50 years. It's a phenomenon known as cattle mutilation. And the valley is infamous as the place where this dark enigma first exploded into the national consciousness. The first case to be widely reported wasn't even a cow. In September of 1967, a horse named Laddie, often misreported in the press as Snippy, was found dead on a ranch near the town of Alamosa. Her body was discovered partially skinned with what witnesses described as surgical precision. Her brain, lungs, and heart were gone, completely removed without appearing to disturb any of the other organs. In the days that followed the discovery, a local judge and two separate sheriffs all reported seeing bizarre, glowing orange orbs in the sky, creating a chilling and direct link between the phenomena above and the horror on the ground. Since that day, thousands of similar cases have been reported across the American West, but a deeply disturbing number of them remain concentrated right here in the San Luis Valley. The details of these cases are unnervingly, terrifyingly consistent. An animal, usually a cow or bull, is found dead. There are no tracks leading to or from the body, not from vehicles, not even its own. There are never any signs of a struggle, but the real mystery lies in the wounds themselves. Specific organs, most commonly the eyes, tongue, and reproductive organs, are removed with a bloodless, surgical precision that baffles veterinarians and law enforcement alike. Rancher Manuel Sanchez, who tragically lost 4 calves in a single month, stated that the cuts were finer and more precise than anything a predator could possibly make. He and the local sheriff scoured the area and found no footprints, no tire tracks, and most unnervingly, absolutely no blood. The financial loss for these ranchers is devastating, but the emotional and psychological toll is just as high. What on earth could be doing this? The theories fly, each one more unsettling than the last. Some people blame secretive, satanic cults performing ritual sacrifices. Others suggest clandestine government experiments, a theory bolstered by the occasional sightings of unmarked black helicopters in the vicinity of mutilation sites. New Mexico State Trooper Gabe Valdez, after investigating dozens of these bizarre cases, concluded that the work was so technologically advanced that it had to be related to some secret government project. And, of course, many believe the culprits aren't from this world at all, viewing the mutilations as some kind of ongoing alien research program. Official investigations have gone absolutely nowhere. The FBI opened a formal inquiry in the late 1970s, but ultimately concluded the deaths were simply the work of natural predators, finding that ranchers and local law enforcement have always vehemently disputed. And this isn't just some relic of old history. As recently as 2019, 5 prize bulls were found mutilated in Oregon under the exact same mysterious circumstances for the people who live on this land. It remains what author and researcher Chris O'Brien has called the greatest unsolved serial crime spree in history. Long before the first modern report of a UFO, This valley was a place of immense spiritual significance. For millennia, at least 12 distinct Native American tribes, including the Ute, Navajo, and various Pueblo peoples, considered this land a sacred, neutral ground where no warfare was ever allowed. It was a place for hunting, for vision quests, and for sacred ceremonies. Their oral traditions and legends describe a place buzzing with a palpable spiritual energy, a connection point to other realms of existence. Many Pueblo and Hopi traditions, for instance, hold that the area around the Great Sand Dunes is the location of the Sipapu, sacred portal through which their ancestors first emerged from the underworld into this one. As the stories go, they were led to safety underground by celestial beings known as Sky Kashin, as often interpreted as fireballs or aerial craft, to escape a great cataclysm on the surface. They were then cared for by a mysterious ant people before finally re-emerging into the new world. On top of that, the Navajo, or people, have a tradition that the nearby Blanca Massif, one of their 4 sacred mountains, is a place where star people can enter our reality, piloting what they describe as flying seed pods. These ancient stories provide a fascinating and profound backdrop to the modern reports of strange craft in the sky. Is it possible that today's UFO sightings are just a new, technological interpretation of something ancient peoples knew about all along? The paranormal folklore of the valley isn't just about the sky either. Tales of Bigfoot-like creatures have circulated since the 19th century. More recently, in 2019, 2 hunters just south of the Colorado border had a terrifying face-to-face encounter with 2 impossibly tall, hooded figures with massive heads, experience that turned them from hardened skeptics into firm believers overnight. The region is also well known for its spook lights, mysterious, floating orbs of light often seen near places like the historic Silver Cliff Cemetery, which some locals believe are the restless spirits of long-dead miners. All of this contributes to a powerful, pervasive belief that the valley itself might hold portals or dimensional doorways. It's a place where the normal rules of reality just do seem to apply. The sheer density and variety of these phenomena are simply staggering. You have reports of technologically advanced craft in the sky, a decades-long spree of baffling and unsolved crimes on the ground, and the foundation of ancient legends that stretch back for thousands of years. So, what's really going on here? Could these events all be connected? Is there a single unifying theory that can explain the UFOs, the mutilations, and the ancient myths? What do you think is happening in the San Luis Valley? Are you a skeptic, or are you a believer? Let us know your best theories in the comments below. The San Luis Valley is a land of beautiful and deeply unsettling contradictions. It is a place of absolutely stunning natural scenery and a rich, layered history. But it is also a stage for events that directly challenge our fundamental understanding of the world. It's the point on the map where hard science runs headfirst into myth, where ranchers and UFO researchers, devout believers, and staunch skeptics all find themselves staring at the same sky and asking the very same questions. You can certainly look for rational, tidy explanations, military tests, atmospheric tricks of light, even mass hysteria, and, in some cases, they might even fit, but they don't and can't fully explain the thousands of credible eyewitness reports, or the bizarre and persistent physical evidence, or the powerful thread of high strangeness that is so deeply woven into this region as past and present. The valley holds its secrets close. It leaves you with far more questions than answers, a lingering sense of profound awe, and the chilling, inescapable possibility that we are not alone, and that here, in this valley, whatever they are very, very close. The only thing we know for sure is that the mystery of the San Luis Valley endures.